The world knows Liam Neeson as the calm, commanding voice in films, the man who seems unbreakable on screen. But there is a moment in his life when that strength meant something very different. It meant standing beside a hospital bed, looking at the person he loved most, and realizing she was never coming back. That moment changed everything. And for years, he carried the pain quietly. Before Hollywood ever knew his name, Neeson was simply a boy named William John Neeson, growing up in the small town of Ballymena in Northern Ireland. Life there was modest and predictable. His father worked as a school caretaker. His mother cooked for a living. There were no film studios, no glamorous dreams, just ordinary days shaped by faith, discipline, and a tight-knit community. Yet even as a child, Neeson carried a quiet intensity. At 9 years old, he stepped into a boxing gym, and the sport taught him something that would follow him for life: resilience. Boxing wasn't just about strength, it was about standing up after every blow. But the road toward acting was anything but direct. In his early 20s, Neeson tried several lives at once. He studied physics and computer science, worked at the Guinness Brewery, drove trucks, even trained to become a teacher. Nothing quite fit. Then theater entered his life almost by accident. When he joined the Lyric Players Theatre in Belfast in 1976, something clicked. On stage, he discovered a powerful truth. You don't just perform a story, you live it. That path eventually led him to the film Excalibur, where he gained wider attention, and years later to the role that changed everything: Schindler's List, directed by Steven Spielberg. His performance stunned audiences and earned him an Academy Award nomination. Suddenly, the quiet actor from Northern Ireland was one of the most respected names in cinema. But the most important chapter of his life didn't happen on a movie set. It began on a Broadway stage when he met actress Natasha Richardson while performing the play Anna Christie. Their connection was immediate. Not the loud kind of romance you see in tabloids, something quieter, deeper. They married in 1994, built a home in New York, and welcomed 2 sons. For 16 years, their life together felt steady, grounded, almost protected from the chaos of Hollywood. Then came March the 16th, 2009. During a ski lesson in Quebec, Richardson fell and hit her head. At first it seemed minor. She was talking, laughing. I'm even telling Neeson on the phone that it was just a little tumble. But the injury was something far more dangerous: an epidural hematoma. Hours later, the situation became critical. By the time Neeson reached the hospital, doctors had devastating news. She was brain dead. He leaned close and spoke to her anyway. He told her they would bring her home. 2 days later, on March 18, 2009, she passed away at 45. Grief like that doesn't follow rules. Neeson later admitted that for a long time he kept moving simply because he had to, for his sons. Work became his refuge. Film after film, role after role. Yet even today, he sometimes hears the front door open and, for a split second, expects Natasha to walk in. That's the strange truth about love and loss. Time moves forward, life continues, but certain memories remain frozen forever. And perhaps that's the real legacy of Liam Neeson's story. Behind the powerful voice and legendary film career is a man who learned that fame fades, applause quiets, and success eventually passes. But love, and the grief that follows it, can echo for a lifetime.